Hello and welcome to the Evercade Retreat. Gene Joke here, and today I'm adding the electric yo-yo from the Taito Arcade Collection 2 to my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever. Originally released into arcades in 1982, it was developed by Taito America and is a single screen collect 'em up, which is sort of a mix of Pac-Man and Kicks, or a Volfeed if you want to liken it to something that is on Evercade. In it you control an electric yo-yo, I suppose a sentient yo-yo, collecting blocks. The screen is made up of grid, or it's organised in a grid. You can't see the grid, but your movement is grid based. However, the yo-yo gimmick of the game involves you whipping out your string, latching onto the nearest block in the direction that you're facing, if there is one, and zipping towards it, giving an almost grapple-like effect as found in much more modern games to a grid-based collect 'em up. Of course, if there isn't a block in your line of sight and nothing to grapple onto, then you'll just move a single block, or grid space if you like. It does make for some novel traversal in an older game. It's a little bit unexpected and definitely takes some getting used to. Of course, it's not as simple as just collecting blocks. There are bions and trions to avoid. These are the enemies that appear, one of which bounces around and does something like supercharges blocks, which can in turn supercharge your yo-yo, allowing you to stun the other enemies, which otherwise they'll kill you on touch, as the other enemy always will. Other than that, it's a fairly straightforward collect 'em up, with a bit of a scoring mechanism, which, if I'm understanding it correctly, scores you greater depending on the distance between the block you collect and the following block you collect. So getting blocks next to each other doesn't score you very much, but covering a greater distance between blocks on a grapple, I believe, will yield a greater score. It's a game that seems to rely on you becoming proficient with the navigation and traversal of the levels and timing. Graphically, as you can no doubt see, it has the early arcade minimalist look, and it works quite well, although obviously there's nothing special to look at. There's not really any music to speak of, but the in-game sound effects have that early arcade game feel. There is a charm to them. The familiar bleeps and bloops they have that arcade charm, don't they? So yeah, the sound is fine. The gameplay, I've explained the majority of it, and it really comes down to mastering that movement, and I just found it frustrating and awkward and completely unintuitive. But I can see how it could be quite engaging if you do manage to get past that barrier. I've been trying it quite a bit over the last few weeks because I have heard a few people say how much they love this game, but it still eludes me and I really don't have much fun playing this game. Much how I don't like the traversal in Chack and Pop off the Taito Collection 1, it's the same thing here. So I've pretty much noped out of this game for now. I will keep trying to revisit it and see if I can, like I say, get past that barrier with the controls, but for now I'm going to be ranking it quite low because I can see that although it's a game with some charm, I can understand why it never became a huge hit. So placing on my overall ranking list, I'm putting it above Marauder but below Guardian, and this is mainly due to the controls feeling unpleasant to me. Otherwise I could see it being much higher. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.